Chef, can I please have soy sauce?
Okay. We've been dispatched to arrest you on the fraudulent obstruction of business.
Arrest me? What?
Trouble Busters!
I found the hidden gem. My name is Alan. I'm almost turning 30, and I love ramen more than anything. I can swear to God that I would do anything to have a good bowl of ramen. I'm here today to try out a new ramen shop that I haven't tried yet. Hello? Huh? Is there something on my face?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Why is he treating me like a trespasser?
Here you go.
Wow. Chef, can I please have soy sauce?
Okay.
Thank you very much. With soy sauce, the ramen will become even more savory.
Huh?
I feel like the chef has been staring at me this entire time. Oh well. Chef, thanks for the great food. I'm ready for my check.
I'm coming in.
Huh? Police?
Officer, it's this guy. He's the culprit. We've been dispatched to arrest you on the fraudulent obstruction of business.
Arrest me? What? I'm sorry, but what is this about?
No need to give any excuses. I was watching you put your mouth on that bottle of soy sauce. This is regarding what's been going viral on social media. Your smartphone is right there too. I know you were uploading that video on social media.
This is a misunderstanding. I did stare at the bottle of soy sauce when you handed it to me, but I never did anything like that. I was just playing a video on my phone too. I would never do anything to cause you trouble.
I don't care what you say because I have evidence. I had a bad feeling the moment you walked in, but I never thought you would actually do it. I knew I was right.
Is that why you're doing this to me?
Now you're coming with me to the police station so I can file a report.
Hold on, officer. You can't even tell if I was doing anything to the bottle just by watching this video.
We can perhaps talk more once we get to the police station. Besides, you can't even prove that you didn't do it.
Well, I guess there isn't anything I can prove that I didn't do.
I don't mind settling this dispute on our own, too. If you're willing to pay me $1,000, I'm willing to let this go.
$1,000? I can't afford to pay you that much.
But if it turns out that you're guilty, this incident could be costing you even more.
Huh?
$1,000 and I'm not negotiating. Now, which option do you want to go with?
Sir, your ramen was great. I want other people to try this restaurant too. I don't benefit anything from harming this restaurant.
You're not gonna get away by making me feel touched by what you say. I was watching you with my own two eyes.
I was just enjoying a nice bowl of ramen and never thought I'd be in a situation like this. The chef wouldn't listen to what I said, but tried to make me the bad guy. I need to do something to prove my innocence. Oh, I think I know what to do. I'm not letting him get away with this. Trouble Busters!
Sir, you better admit.
I found the evidence. Huh? Officer, time to work.
Huh?
Let's pretend that I truly licked the bottle. But if I've done so, the container would have a mark from my tongue.
That's true.
You would be able to put the bottle on analysis, right?
No matter what you do, we already know the outcome. Why don't we go ahead and do that? Okay, since both of you agree to this. Enjoy your peace while you can. We got the results back from analytics. There was no evidence for Alan to have touched the bottle with his tongue. See, I told you. Wait, what? Whew. This means that Alan is innocent.
Yes!
Oh, I thought I was right, but I guess I was just overthinking. Now that this problem is solved, I'll just go on about my day.
Hold on, sir.
What do you want?
Do you really think this is the end of this incident? This isn't an anime show. We can't pretend that nothing happened at the start of the next episode.
What's the big deal? I thought the problem was solved.
No, it wasn't. You made false accusations on me and tried to take $1,000 from me. Officer, what happens in this case?
Since it turned out that Alan was innocent, this means that Trevor had made false allegations against Alan and tried to take money from him. In this case, we can perhaps consider this as a threat and attempted fraud. Threat? Attempted fraud?
Yes, you tried to make me a criminal and you called the police, but you ended up being a criminal yourself.
Hold on a second. You can't do that to me. I never wanted any of this.
But I want to make things right.
This isn't right.
Just think about it. All I did was enjoy a bowl of ramen. You destroyed my peace and you haven't even cared to apologize to me.
That's true.
You too, officer. Just walk in my shoes.
You're right. I'm terribly sorry for the misunderstanding.
Now.
Who cares about those small things? You proved your innocence and that's all that matters. You've started to get greedy by wanting more than what you deserve.
I'm not being greedy.
Are you trying to get free ramen for life just because of what happened? You're the one who's threatening me. I don't serve free ramen.
I never asked for that, and you need to stop switching the subject.
That's right, Trevor. Alan was ultimately innocent, so you need to apologize. 1, 2, 3. Trevor had forgotten what happened the other day.
Stop hypnotizing yourself.
You can't pretend as if nothing happened. I was there too. No, you guys can just 1, 2, 3.
I told you that's not going to work.
You guys are so annoying. You can't even prove what you're accusing me of. I'll admit that I may have been a bit stern, but you can't prove any of what you're saying.
Here's the most powerful weapon.
I don't mind settling this dispute on our own, too. If you're willing to pay me $1,000, I'm willing to let this go. $1,000, and I'm not negotiating. Now, which option do you want to go with? Oh, my goodness!
How's that? This makes it black and white.
Why do you even have a recording like that?
You never know what could happen to you. It's better to be safe than sorry, and I made sure we were recording our conversation. For example, this becomes quite useful for retaliation after I proved that I was innocent. I'm going to be filing a police report against you.
Oh my goodness!
What is it?
I remember now!
Remember what?
Something must be wrong with the analysis!
That's not possible. We used the latest technology to collect the sample. There's no way the results could be wrong.
But there's no point if the evidence was destroyed to begin with.
Huh?
You must have used a wet towel to clean the bottle of soy sauce after you licked it.
No, I didn't.
In that case, you wouldn't find any evidence. I know I'm right. How dare you go this far just to commit this crime? Now I'm willing to settle this dispute as long as you pay me $10,000.
I'm sorry to break the bad news when you're so excited over this, but that's not going to be valid.
What?
It's because you already answered your own question.
What the heck? What exactly are you trying to say? Trevor, do you remember the surveillance footage you showed me that day? Yeah?
If I was wiping the bottle with a wet tissue, you should see me doing that in the footage. Bingo!
Well?
Do you have anything to say?
But that footage wasn't really taken from the right angle, so you can't really say anything for sure.
Do you even realize that what you're saying is only bringing yourself down? I said that when you accused me of licking the soy sauce bottle, but you insisted that I'd committed it. You're not getting away by just saying that the camera angle wasn't good.
Well, I guess.
You're making things convenient for yourself. If I'm not mistaken, the wet towel was placed where you can see it sitting on the counter from that camera angle.
Was that so?
We can perhaps confirm it by looking at the footage.
How dare you!
I guess I can say that I got lucky, but I deserve victory because I know I'm right.
Okay, fine. I'll let go of you since you guys are such amazing people. Now I'm gonna go on about my day.
Hold on.
Oh, what is it? Why do you guys keep cornering me? You already said what you wanted to say, so let's just say that we tied.
No! Stop trying to end this conversation.
Just walk in my shoes. My restaurant has been failing, and I ended up being a little more sensitive than I should have. I never wanted to accuse my customer.
Sensitive? Never wanted to accuse... That's strange.
What do you mean?
Let me ask if you've been trying to prevent a crime like that. For example, the surveillance camera. If you really wanted to stop what you've accused me of, you should have placed the camera at a better angle.
That's because it gets complicated when you consider the cables and the cords and things like that.
But wasn't that camera cableless?
Damn it, I didn't think you would remember.
It's true that it doesn't feel like you're truly trying to prevent it from happening. That way, your customers will know that you're recording a video and you'd be able to prevent this from happening. Especially if it's happened multiple times in the past. You were trying to make money out of this, weren't you?
That's not true. You can't falsely accuse me of something like that. Wait, did you say multiple times in the past?
I wondered about that too. What do you mean by that? Trevor, you keep getting the same incident in the past, right?
Oh, is that so? Same incident? No, that's not true.
I went ahead and did some research about your restaurant, but it seemed like there were multiple victims who ended up in the situation that I was in.
Oh boy.
They all said that they ended up settling the dispute by handing you cash.
Anyone could write anything online. That's such a false accusation.
You're right. So... I see.
Why do you keep getting in my way? Why do you keep going against everything I say?
Sir, please calm down. Why don't you enjoy a cup of tea?
All right, the officer is gone. Now I get to...
If you run right now, I'm going to file a police report against you. Do you realize that you're in a bad position right now?
You too? You said things about other victims, but if it turns out that you were lying, I can sue you for defamation. It's because you said things that would defame me. You were pretty much getting away after winning, but look what you've done to yourself for being greedy.
I trust other people who love enjoying ramen.
Say whatever.
Thank you for waiting. Trevor, you know him, right?
Trevor, long time no see. Who are you? I don't know you at all.
You're clearly overreacting to his presence. Your eyeballs are swimming all over your eyes. You might as well win the grand prize.
Oh, shut up. I really don't know who he is.
You can't pretend as if you don't know him. When your ramen shop called the police for obstruction of business in the past, this officer happened to be dispatched to your restaurant on all of those occasions.
You can't prove any of that.
I went to take a look at our reports since Alan told me to do so.
Oh, you said you were gonna get me some tea. Was that what you stepped away for?
That's right, we were buying time. And I was able to find evidence of what you've done.
I know there had been other similar incidents in the past, and I had the police help me out too.
Similar incidents? You mean copy and paste, right?
Shut up! Besides, what does that have anything to do with this?
You've demanded that your customer pay you $1,000 in the past by doing exactly what you did last time, correct? You accused them despite the fact that you didn't have concrete evidence.
How can you be so sure about it? They all admitted to what they've done, and that's why I decided to settle the dispute.
But in our report, it only stated that the dispute had been settled and no evidence mentioned.
Are you going to be able to provide evidence that those guys were innocent? For Alan's case, we ended up discovering the truth after sending the bottle to analytics, but how are you even going to go back to prove anything about all those other guys? If you guys keep falsely accusing me of such a thing, I'm going to make sure you guys regret this. I don't care if you're an authority.
As you said, there's no evidence to prove those people's innocence. This means that neither side had any evidence.
See, I knew I was right.
However, you still decided to take money.
Well, that's because we settled the dispute.
Ugh, you don't get it, do you? You demanded money without even proving that your accusation was true. This means that you've illegally demanded cash instead of settling the dispute.
What?
As we mentioned earlier, this can be considered attempted fraud. In my case, I've been able to prove my innocence, and it turns out that you've attempted to commit the fraud.
This is ridiculous.
Trevor, this is what it means to prove something. Do you have anything that you'd like to say at this time?
It's fake. That police officer must have faked the reports.
What? That's not true. You can't get away by saying that. I already listened to how and what happened.
What?
Isn't it obvious enough? That's the only reason why this officer chose to be here.
Trevor, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness! How dare you betray me like this? I ended up remembering my mother who lives in the countryside, and I felt like I had to do the right thing. Mommy!
Is that why you decided to tell the truth? This officer had a par to reach and ended up helping Trevor out with his scheme.
In that case, the officer is the only person who's guilty in this. I may not have had enough evidence, but I completely misunderstood the victims. I had no bad intentions.
And that's exactly why we should have gotten to the bottom of the facts, just the way we did this time. It doesn't matter how it happened. The fact is that you made illegal demands for money, and you don't have the right to give any excuses about it. What you're saying is that you can ignore a red light as long as others are ignoring it too. That's all I have to say to you. Now, I wonder who's the one who caused defamation on another.
That's gonna be you! According to my research, it doesn't matter whether the defaming facts were truth or not. Officer, if you're gonna get me in trouble, I'm taking this guy with me. I know I'm right. What's so funny?
Well, I just thought it was funny that you had no idea what you were talking about. Just because you're desperate, you shouldn't just come up with things that you're not too knowledgeable about.
What do you mean?
Defamation happens when you bring down another person's reputation in a public manner.
Huh? What do you mean?
For example, if I went around telling other people or made a public statement on the internet, even if it was the truth, it becomes defamation. But I never said anything to anyone aside from the three of us standing here, and I never made any public statements. Therefore, what Alan has done is not considered defamation. The only guilty person is you.
You're kidding me.
Trevor, this is over.
No! I've been a ramen chef for 30 years! I can't possibly ruin it all like this!
It's too late.
I never thought you guys would find out the truth!
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You're not sorry for anything, and you have no sense of guilt at all. You thought you'd get away by having the police protect you, but it ended up backfiring on you.
And that's exactly why I'm apologizing. I'll apologize from the bottom of my soul, so please forgive me.
You'll get away by apologizing if it was your friends and family members, but you won't be forgiven by apologizing to the authorities. You better give up.
Oh no!
Trevor was charged for threat and fraud, and he had to face some severe consequences. Because of this incident, he ended up closing down his ramen shop. He's never gonna be forgiven for making false accusations against his customers just to make money off of them. He lost his job and now has a criminal record, and no one knows what's going to happen to him after this. As for me, I've been going out to different ramen shops to try different ramen all over the nation. I'm looking for a partner who would be able to share the same hobby with me. Trouble Busters!
You're a housewife, Melanie. You expect me to believe you can't even make me a half-decent meal? I'm not gonna let you just laze around the house all day. I work myself to the bone from morning to night, and this is the thanks I get? Food that's barely even mediocre. Is this a joke?
I'm deeply, truly sorry that you had to deal with eating my terrible cooking all these years. Don't worry though, I'll see to it that you never have to eat any more of my meals ever again.
Oh, come on, fish again?
Oh, I'm sorry, George, but I thought you liked fish. You always told me that you liked my fish up until now.
Yeah, well, I'm not in the mood for it today.
I see. Well, I wish you'd have told me.
Seriously though, did you put any seasoning on this at all? And you call yourself a housewife? I don't believe you.
What?
You're such a slacker, Melanie.
George, please. Why are you getting so angry at me? This doesn't seem fair. George, is there something else on your mind?
Oh, nothing. Just the crippling depression of realizing how little you think of all the hard work I do.
Okay, that's going too far. My cooking isn't that bad. Stop exaggerating like that.
Are you joking? If I called your food pig slop, it'd be an insult to pig slop. And don't you dare talk back to me.
George, please, you're scaring me.
You're a housewife, Melanie. You expect me to believe you can't even make me a half-decent meal? I'm not gonna let you just laze around the house all day.
My name's Melanie. This is my husband, George. We've only been married for a year, so we're sort of still newlyweds. Back before we got married, I used to work as a pharmacist. But George was insistent that a woman's place is in the home. So I decided to respect his wishes and do my best to support him as a housewife once we moved in together. George has always been something of a picky eater, but he was never the kind of person to get so angry at me day after day about my cooking before recently.
Oh, come on. What is this? It's nothing but vegetables.
But George, you haven't been eating any vegetables at all lately. I'm looking out for your health.
What are you, my mother? The only meat in this entire meal is the 5 chunks of ham you put in the salad.
I also put some in the vegetable soup.
Listen up, Melanie. I don't ever want to see a pile of vegetables on the table ever again. In fact, from now on, you're not allowed to buy any vegetables at all with my money. And if you want to eat vegetables, go and make a grass salad or something.
But grass isn't good for humans. Only animals like horses and rabbits eat it.
Not my problem. It's my money, so what I say goes.
Well then, if you don't want vegetables, would you at least tell me what you do want to eat?
Oh my God, Melanie! You're the housewife. It's your job to figure that out. I do more than enough work at the office every day. I'm not gonna do your job for you too.
But George, you've never eaten anything that I cook for you, no matter what it is. Don't you think it would be much simpler if you just told me what you wanted?
Gah. I've had more than enough of your nonsense for one night. Don't tick me off any worse than you already have.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What's a guy gotta do to get a decent meal around here?
What's a girl gotta do to get appreciated around here?
Appreciated? For what? I'm out at the office working all day while you're just lazing around the house. Why don't you use some of all that free time to learn how to cook or something?
I am not just lazing around.
How would you feel if you were the one working all day, just to come home to be fed last night's trash by an ungrateful spouse? You have no idea how hard it is for me with a wife who doesn't even care enough about me to cook half decently.
When we first got married, you used to love my cooking. You said you wanted to eat it all your life.
Oh yeah? Seriously, what happened to you? You didn't used to be this bad of a cook.
Nothing's changed at all. If anything, I've gotten better.
Yeah, right. You can't fool me. I bet you were having all that food catered to trick me into marrying you. Maybe I ought to sue you for marriage fraud.
Oh, how long can I go on like this? George, I have a terrible headache. Could you please get me a glass of water?
Huh, nice try. But you're not fooling me, Melanie. You're just faking being sick to get sympathy from me. How low can you go?
George, please. I haven't felt this sick in years. Could you please be a bit kinder to me for today at least? I think I'll just go lie down for a while.
I knew it! You were just trying to get out of making my breakfast. Well, I'm not buying it, so hurry up and get in that kitchen.
There are some leftovers from last night in the fridge, and you can have some toast with jam or something. Could you please let me rest for just today?
What do you mean, just? You do nothing but rest. You're a lazy, good-for-nothing housewife. You've been taking advantage of my hard work and generosity for far too long, Melanie. And if you keep slacking off on the job, I must just have to go ahead and fire you. So shape up or ship out.
George, are you threatening to divorce me? Over cooking? How could you?
And just so you don't get any ideas, I'll be taking back the rest of the spending money I gave you last week. Make sure my dinner is edible tonight.
Alright, I got my cold medicine. And I also got George some of his favorite ginger pork from the supermarket downtown he always goes to for lunch. He's gonna like this for sure. But I gotta say, it really brought back some memories going to that pharmacy just now. The smells, the lights, the sounds, everything reminded me of back when I used to be the one working behind the counter. I always loved seeing how a patient would look a little bit better every time they came back. It really is a rewarding job. I wonder if I'll ever get a chance to make a comeback as a pharmacist one day. Oh, hi George. Welcome home.
What's up with that smile? It's creepy.
Don't worry, George. Nothing you say can bother me today. I'm in a super good mood right now. I got a will made of steel that nothing can pierce. I feel like Superwoman today.
Are you drunk or something? Whatever, just don't give me your cold, got it? Unlike you, I'm actually contributing to society. So if I have to take a day off, a lot of people are gonna be in big trouble.
Don't worry, that's what the mask is for. I have dinner ready for you right away, dear.
What the? Didn't I tell you never to buy vegetables with my money again?
Those were leftover from the other day.
And is this all there is? No side dishes? Dessert? I told you, your little ploy for sympathy won't work on me. Sick or not, I'm not letting you slack off on the job. And besides, you said you were feeling better, didn't you? So you've got no excuse to not make me a decent meal.
I'm sorry, George. I went to the doctor's office today and I just got back a little while ago.
You had all day to go to the hospital. Why'd you wait until so late to go?
I was feeling so sick earlier that my chores took a lot longer than they usually do.
I don't want to hear any more excuses from you. What is this? Are you aiming to get a gold medal in the pathetic excuse Olympics?
I had no idea that it was even a real competition.
It's not a real competition, you moron. Plus, this ginger pork looks awful. What did you put in this?
Actually, George, this ginger pork is from...
Disgusting!
What? Hey, what are you doing? You can't waste food like that. Think of all the starving children there in this world.
That ginger pork was so bad. I'd bet all those children would sooner starve to death than take even one bite.
George, you're being ridiculous. Besides, that's not the issue right now. The issue is that you're wasting food in the first place. There are a million reasons why you shouldn't waste food.
If you ask me, I'd say that the real waste was when you took all the ingredients and mixed them together into the worst ginger pork I've ever tasted.
I've been trying to tell you, I didn't...
There you go again. You've got an excuse for everything, huh? Honestly, what was I thinking marrying such a terrible excuse for a cook as you?
Between George's verbal abuse and my cold, I started crying and I just couldn't stop. Well, at least now that I know that I'm not such a bad cook after all, I suppose that's a silver lining in all of this. Phew, I think crying for a while made me feel a bit better, but I don't know how much longer I'll be able to bear George treating me so terribly. I'm at my limit. I could understand if he was just complaining about my cooking, but this is just plain old verbal abuse. I guess I don't have a choice. I bet she won't be too happy about it, but I think I need to call George's mother to ask for advice. Oh, I hope she doesn't think too poorly of me. She'll probably say I'm not good enough for George. But I don't have any other options left. I've tried everything. This is my last resort, and I really hope it works. I'll show him he can't push me around. Trouble busters! Huh?
I'm in the mood for Chinese food tonight. Make me some stir-fried pork and sweet and sour chicken. And remember, no vegetables.
Would it kill him to type the word please every once in a while? Oh well, I'm actually in the mood for some Chinese too. Welcome home, George.
You've got some explaining to do.
I do?
Didn't you listen to what I was saying at all?
Well, I did read your text message. Why do you ask?
Oh, you did read it. Then why are there vegetables in this food?
Well, I was in the mood for Chinese too, so...
No one, I repeat, no one cares about what you want to eat, Melanie. Do you have any idea how much trouble I'd be in if I couldn't follow such a simple instruction from my boss?
Oh, I'm sure you'd be in a world of trouble, no doubt.
Ugh, why am I wasting my time talking about work with you? You're a housewife. You've never worked a day in your life.
Well, in any case, you don't need to worry about your dinner, George. There's a special portion especially for you, too.
There is.
Actually, I called your mother to ask her for some advice today, and she told me that from now on, she would take over making all of your meals for me.
You called my mom?
Yep, and luckily for you, I'm so sorry that you've had to bear with eating my awful cooking up until now. It must have been terrible. But now I made arrangements so that you'll never have to eat a single bite of my dreadful cooking ever again.
You're not making any sense. Why did you call my mom? And why did she agree to make my meals? What's going on?
What's there to complain about? You don't want to have to eat my cooking, do you?
Alright, fine. But if that's the case, then you're never allowed to use my money to buy food for yourself. Not even a single shred of lettuce.
I read you loud and clear, George. I will never again use a single cent of your money to make meals for myself. Cross my heart and hope to die.
Just so long as you're clear on that, I'll hold you to that promise. Not 1 cent to yourself. I don't care if you end up dying of starvation. Don't come crying to me because I won't give you anything. This is your last chance to change your mind.
Nope, my mind's made up. Actually, I've already taken the liberty of handing over all the money you gave me for food this month to your mom.
You did?
Yep, what's the matter? Isn't this what you wanted? Honestly, I wish I would have thought of this plan earlier. It would have saved both me and you a lot of trouble. You wouldn't have to put up with my awful cooking, and I wouldn't have to put up with your verbal abuse.
Wait, but you're a housewife. You don't have any money. What are you gonna do for food?
Oh, you don't need to worry about me. Don't you remember? I'm a certified pharmacist. All I need to do is go back to work and have more than enough money to live on.
Work? Are you insane? You can't even take care of the house as things are. If you go back to work, things are really gonna fall apart around here. I'm not letting you work until you learn to be a passable housewife first.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe I need your permission, George.
Excuse me! Don't you dare talk back to me like that! Besides, what company in their right mind would hire some useless flunky housewife like you?
The only reason I ever quit my old job in the first place was because you asked me to take care of things around the house. Do you think they fired me or something? What gave you that idea? It seems to me like the only thing you're really interested in is robbing me of every shred of freedom I have.
Oh, great. Guests. Perfect timing. Who could be coming over at this hour?
Oh, great, they're here. Come on in, the door's unlocked. Good evening. Thanks for letting us stop by. Oh my, this looks delicious. You've outdone yourself, Melanie. This looks as good as any restaurant I've ever been to. Oh, George, you're home already? I heard you wanted to have some Chinese food for dinner, so I made some for you. I have to say, though, you're one excellent housekeeper, Melanie. This house is immaculate. I don't think I can see a single speck of dust anywhere in this entire room. How do you do it? I never dreamed George would marry a woman as dependable as you. It makes me proud to be your mother-in-law. Right, Kenneth?
Madeline, don't you think you're laying on the compliments a bit too thick right now?
Oh, I'm sorry, Melanie. I went and got carried away, didn't I? Oh, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I was just kind of surprised is all. I had no idea you thought so highly of me. I'm glad I have your approval. Don't be ridiculous. How could I not think highly of such a dedicated wife as you? You must really care for my son. Isn't that right, George? Don't you have anything to say?
Yeah, I guess.
You guess? You guess? Is that all you have to say? Your father's always telling me how much he appreciates me, you know. It feels so wonderful to be with someone who always expresses their thanks. I love you, Kenneth.
I love you too, Madeline. But can we please eat already? I'm starving.
Wow, it's wonderful to see how well the two of you are getting along, even after all these years. All right, everyone, let's dig in. It's been so long since I've cooked for so many people. I think I might have cooked a bit too much, so I hope you're all hungry.
Is this my stir-fried pork? Where are the mushrooms?
What's that? I thought you had been telling Melanie here that you don't want any vegetables at all. Mushrooms are considered to be a type of vegetable. Didn't you know that?
Of course I knew that. You don't need to tell me.
Excuse me, George. Melanie just went out of her way to tell you something important. I think a simple thank you is in order. I raised you myself, so you've got no excuse to be forgetting such simple manners. I won't have any son of mine being an ingrate.
Oh.
Now, let's all dig in, everyone. Remember, there's plenty more, so don't hesitate to ask for seconds.
Or thirds.
Oh my goodness, Melanie, this is incredible. You always were a terrific cook, but this is even better than I remembered. Have you been taking cooking classes?
These veggies are cooked to perfection, dear. And the seasoning is so well balanced.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you went and ordered this from a real live Chinese restaurant. And to think George doesn't appreciate your cooking. What on earth is wrong with that boy's taste buds? The other day, he even said that the ginger pork from the supermarket downtown was bad and threw it all away. I'm frankly concerned that something might be wrong with his sense of taste. Do you think he should see a doctor?
Hey!
I suppose it must be that I'm nowhere near as good of a cook as you are, Mom. I bet he's so used to your cooking that mine doesn't seem to be good to him anymore.
Hey, hold on. I didn't. Wait, so that ginger pork was from the store. I thought you made that.
If you say it like that, it almost seems like the only reason you said it was bad was because you thought I was the one who cooked it, George.
Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it at all.
That is strange, George. You've been eating the ginger pork that store makes ever since you were a little boy. You've always loved it. You know what? I think Melanie may be right, dear. I think something must be wrong with your sense of taste. Shall I take you to the doctor tomorrow?
I'd say she's right, George. If there's something wrong with you, it's best to nip it in the bud before it becomes a bigger problem. No, it's fine, Dad. There's nothing wrong with me. Seriously. It's just that Melanie gave me her cold. Yeah. My nose was so stuffed up from the cold Melanie gave me that I couldn't taste the food.
Is that so?
Yeah. That's gotta be it. So, anyway, let's eat.
Are you all right, George? That's strange. You don't like Melanie's cooking, the restaurant's cooking, or even my cooking? That settles it. There must be something wrong with you.
No, it's fine. I'm just not very hungry right now is all. I'll eat it later, okay? But, hey, how come you're the one that cooked this instead of Dad?
Isn't it obvious? I got my recipe for stir-fried pork from your dad. If you didn't like my cooking, then you probably wouldn't like it if your dad cooked it either.
Oh. Ah, yes, that's right. We brought some watermelon with us, too.
Watermelon? That's great! You love watermelon, don't you, George? Thanks, Mom and Dad. I'll head into the kitchen to cut it up for us. I'll be right back.
No, it's all right. I'll cut it, dear. You've been on your feet all day getting this dinner ready for us. You deserve a break.
I deserve a break? I think that's the first time anyone's told me that in about a year. I'm so touched, I think I'm gonna cry.
Oh, Melanie, you're always such a jokester. Now sit on down. I'll be back in a jiffy. All right, everyone, help yourselves.
Wow, Dad, that was fast. It's like a professional watermelon cutter. Thanks so much. Wow, this watermelon is delicious. Where did you get it from? I don't think I've ever eaten watermelon this good before. It's so juicy and sweet.
Is it really that good? Here, let me have a bite. Not so fast, George. Watermelon is a vegetable.
Oh, I couldn't eat another bite. Well, I suppose we should be moving along now, darling.
Yep, it's about that time.
We'll see you again tomorrow evening. If you don't have any requests for me, try to let me know before noon, all right, George? You have to leave me enough time to go out and buy ingredients and cook it too.
Sure, Mom. How could you do this to me, Melanie? You know my mom's a lousy cook. Why did you ask her to make my dinner? Is this some kind of a prank?
A prank? I never dream of pulling a prank against you, George.
Then start talking. What are you trying to say?
If you think my cooking is bad, then that means you also think your dad's cooking is bad, since I use his recipes. You even say the food I buy from the store is bad, but since I'm not working, I wouldn't have enough money to keep on going out for food every night anyway. So, the only choice I had left was to ask your mom for help. That's all. No prank, no plot. You just had no other options.
Fine, whatever. Just call her back and tell her not to cook for me again tomorrow. If she cooks for me again, then I'm not coming home, and I'm not giving you a single cent of my money for anything, all right? Do I make myself clear?
Crystal clear, George. Now sign this, please.
Huh? Wait a minute. What is this?
Can't you read? It says at the top of the page, these are divorce papers.
Yeah, I can read. I'm not a total idiot. I'm asking you, what in the world do you think you're doing giving me these?
To be perfectly honest, I simply can't take any more of your constant verbal and emotional abuse, George. You yell at me every day that my cooking is bad. You even reject the food from the store that I know you like, and your dad's recipe too. It's too much to handle. I've tried everything, George, and nothing is good enough for you.
That's not emotional abuse. And besides, how are you gonna get by without me? Sure, you have your stupid nursing license or whatever, but I make $50K a year. How are you gonna make that kind of money, huh? Unless you've got a rich boyfriend or something. Wait, is that it? Have you been cheating on me?
That does it. I've had it with you, George. Cheating? Are you seriously accusing me of cheating? You've been nothing but cruel to me for most of our marriage, and you want to make me the bad guy? And thanks for your concern, but I won't need $50K a year to make a decent living for myself and my own, so don't worry about me. If I had to choose between having more money and having a peaceful and happy life, I'd choose the latter any day of the week. And my life has been anything but peaceful and happy for as long as I've been married to you. Not to mention, I was making more than $50K a year back before we got married. So hurry up and sign your name on the dotted line. Let's get this over with.
All right, let's calm down, okay? How about this? I'll let you keep on being my housewife, so please just call my mom and tell her she doesn't need to cook for me anymore, okay? What's so funny?
You'll let me be your housewife? You really still don't get it, do you? I'm never setting foot in this house again. I've already packed my things and I'm moving into my new apartment tomorrow morning.
You can't do this to me!
Well, look what you've done now.
Don't look at me. This is all your fault.
And that was how our relatively short but eventful marriage finally came to an end. The next day, I went to see my doctor and got a physician's report for my injury, then left from there and went straight to my lawyer. We launched a lawsuit against her for both emotional and physical abuse, with a demand for compensation of $25,000. Then, a few days later, hello?
Melanie, what in the world is going on? Why are you suing me for $25,000?
Do you think to read the documents before calling me? It should be explained in there.
You are so selfish, Melanie. First, you make me put up with your atrocious cooking all this time, and now you want money from me on top of that. I should sue you for your abusive cooking.
My goodness, Melanie, how do you do it? You only been living here for a few days and it already feels like home sweet home. Oh, you always been so sweet to me. Thank you so much. It looks like that scar on your forehead is healing nicely too. Thank goodness for that. I know an apology from me isn't going to change anything, but I want you to know how truly sorry I am. No, please, Mom. You don't need to apologize for anything to me. None of this was your fault. I understand that after he called you. George really did go to a lawyer to ask if there was any way he could sue you. I don't believe it. He was serious about that? Yes, well, apparently it took quite a deal of effort to talk George out of suing you. That boy is nothing but trouble. Yeah, I doubt any self-respecting lawyer would want to have that kind of lawsuit on their record. I can see why he turned that case down. George's father was utterly furious at him, too. He told him that as punishment, he would have to eat my cooking for all his meals for the next year. He did? Well, that's inventive. I'm surprised George can keep it down. To be quite honest, I can't even stand my own cooking. Even after all these years, I still can't manage to make a decent meal. I wonder why that is. George's mother always was incredibly kind to me, so even though George and I are divorced, we still meet up for tea every once in a while. Like she just said, even she's aware of how horrible her cooking tastes. So for as long as they've been married, her husband has been doing the brunt of the cooking. This may seem odd coming from me, but in all honesty, I'd consider having to eat my cooking every day as nothing short of torture. I'll bet George is suffering more from that than the damages from your lawsuit.
Oh, please, somebody, help me. My stomach.
But he has only himself to blame for that. Thanks to an introduction from an old pharmacist friend, I landed a job at another pharmacy really quickly. The owner was so impressed by my resume, he thinks that if everything goes smoothly, by this time next year, I'll be the head pharmacist. It feels great to be back in the swing of things. I missed everything about this job so much for the last year. Now that I'm free from George's clutches, I'm gonna focus on living my own life to the fullest. Trouble Busters!
I've been kicked out of the house and have no place to stay.
Why? What happened?
If you don't have any more money to give to us, we don't want you living with us. You're a nuisance.
Well, you're welcome to live here.
It's very nice of you to offer, but are you sure? I don't want to impose. You're here again. Don't you have anything better to do with your time? Now that I'm retired, I don't know what to do with all this time.
Well, we don't want you moping around the house. It's annoying.
I'm sorry about that. Is there anything that I can do to help out around the house?
No, there isn't. Please do us all a favor by going out.
I can cook or clean. It would be my pleasure. Oh, you've never done the chores. We don't trust you to get it done properly. Actually, I'm not a bad cook. I used to cook for myself before I got married to your mother. Just go somewhere, okay? We don't need your help with anything.
Yes, that's what we're asking you to do. Get out of our hair.
Okay, I'll go somewhere.
My name is Alan, and I'm 35 years old. I'm married to Helen, and we've been trying to have kids, but for now, it's just us. We're happily married, but Helen's brother and his wife are a pain in the ass. They live with Helen's father, and they've been bullying him. For New Year's, Helen and I drove to Hank's house to check on their father. Happy New Year! How have you been?
Alan, thank you for driving down to come see us.
My pleasure. By the way, have you lost some weight?
I don't think so. I'm feeling okay, so you have nothing to worry about.
Oh, okay. Hi, Hank and Karen. Happy New Year!
Helen, why did you marry this loser? Does he still work as a ramen shop owner?
Alan is not a loser. Please don't be so rude. His restaurant business is doing really well.
Good for you. But you have a lot of debt, right? I'm worried that Alan is gonna go out of business because of it.
I do have some debt, but I'm paying the money back according to schedule.
What's your interest coverage ratio then?
Excuse me? I'm not familiar with that term.
I can't believe that you have your own business, not knowing what interest coverage ratio means.
My expertise is making delicious ramen, and I admit I'm not an experienced business manager. I think my business is doing well nonetheless.
Well, you need to start learning.
You need basic knowledge in finance in order to run a successful business. I've hired professionals to help me with the business management. You're wasting your money. If you acquire the skills yourself, you wouldn't have to hire people. You're a small business. You can't afford to outsource all that. You're very knowledgeable because you work at a bank, and that's very admirable. I'm not asking for your opinion, Alan. I just want you to know that running a business isn't easy, and you don't seem to have the skills. Hank, no need to be so harsh. Have you tried the ramen that Alan makes? It's really good. Dad, you shouldn't be so naive. The ramen might be good, but that doesn't mean that Alan's business will be successful because of it. I'm done talking about this. You two clearly don't know how to run a business. It was New Year's, and it was supposed to be a happy time, but Hank managed to ruin it for all of us. Hank and Karen were annoyed that Helen's father had defended me, and they took it out on him.
Yes, coming. Hey, Dad. What brings you here unannounced?
I got kicked out of the house.
Why would Hank and Karen do such a thing?
They told me that they were trying to have kids and they didn't want me around.
That's a ridiculous reason.
That's not all. They took all of my savings and retirement money.
They are pure evil.
I tried to put up with them for a while, but then Hank said to me, "If you don't have any more money to give to us, there's no reason for you to continue living with us. We want you to move out." This is my house. You two moved in here. Why do I have to be the one to go? We're trying to start a family. You don't need this much space. It makes more sense for you to move out. I couldn't stay there any longer. It was driving me crazy, so I packed up my things and left.
Well, I think you made the right choice by coming here. Let me talk to Alan about this. Do you want to move in with us?
That's very nice of you to offer, but I don't want to impose.
You're not imposing. We're family.
Thank you, Helen. This means so much to me. I was surprised to see Helen's father at our house when I came home from work. Helen told me what was going on, and I agreed with her that he should move in with us. Helen and I were furious with Hank and Karen's outrageous behavior. We weren't going to forgive them, and Helen and I were going to make sure that her father was happy living with us. One day, Helen's father suggested to us that, "Alan, would you mind if I helped out at your ramen shop? You don't need to pay me. I feel bad not paying any rent, and I also want to make good use of myself." There's really no need. We're happy to have you here with us. I like to cook, and I think it'd be good for me to have something to do with my time. If you insist, thank you. Make yourself at home and ask me if you have any questions. Thank you, Alan. I'm excited to be here. What do you think about doing this? Because Helen's father loved to cook, he gave me a lot of helpful advice on how to improve my restaurant. I took his advice seriously, and because of it, the number of customers coming to my restaurant increased considerably. People started leaving positive comments and feedback online about my restaurant. I was making much more money than before, and I was able to pay back all of my debt. I was so grateful to Helen's father. A month later, things changed drastically though. Hank and Karen came to my restaurant. Dad! Oh, hi Hank and Karen. We came to pick you up. What?
We were really surprised that you actually moved out of the house. It was only a stupid joke.
A joke? That's right. Which is why you should come home with us. No thanks, Hank. Helen and Alan offered me to let me move in with them, and I'm currently working here. Yes, I heard that the restaurant is doing much better after you started helping out. It looks like you have a talent in business management. I'm thinking of starting a ramen shop myself, and I want you to work with me. What? I quit my job at the bank. My shop is opening next week. Isn't that exciting? Hold on a second, Hank. What is it, Alan? You didn't even check to see how your father was doing after he moved out, and now this? Are you trying to defy me? My restaurant is opening soon, and you'll be out of business before you know it. I can ask my former colleagues at the bank to stop lending you any more money. Is that a threat? It's not a threat. I know that your restaurant will close down after mine opens. You don't stand a chance. I'm a good business manager, and you're not. What the hell is your problem, Hank? Alan, calm down. Okay, fine. I'll move back in with you guys. But why?
I'm so glad. Thank you. Let's get going. We don't have any time to waste.
Alan, I'll be fine. Thank you for taking good care of me. Okay. I couldn't believe Hank and Karen. They only wanted Helen's father around when he was benefiting them. I wasn't happy about this, but I was going to respect my father-in-law's wish to live with his son again. Another month passed and Helen's father came to visit us. I'm home! What do you mean by that? Well, Hank and Karen kicked me out again. Again? Why? They were desperate to have you back. Actually, I wanted them to kick me out this time. I made sure that they won't be asking me to move back in with them again. I still don't get it. What did you do? Helen's father explained his plan to me. Wow, that's brilliant! And then he came back to work with me at my restaurant. Things were much better when Helen's father was working with me. The operations of the restaurant were smoother and we could attend to more customers. When Hank and Karen found out that Helen's father was working with me again, they came to see us. But I wasn't gonna let them mess with us anymore. I've had enough. They were going to be punished for their bad behavior. Troublebusters!
Dad, what's going on? What do you want now, Hank? Why are you working with Alan again? Do you know how rough things are over at my restaurant? We have no customers whatsoever. I don't understand why people are lining up to eat here. Well, that's because the ramen that Alan makes is delicious and it's worth lining up for. I make a similar ramen at my place. How come no one wants to eat at my restaurant? Did you purposely give me the wrong recipe? Why would I do that? I'm not a liar. I gave you all the information that I have about making good ramen. Then why does everyone want to eat here and not at my restaurant? How are you using this recipe and how are you making the ramen? What do you mean? I make the ramen according to the recipe that you gave me. Oh, and how much are you charging for a bowl of ramen? $7. That's why no one wants to eat at your place. I don't get it. Why? Most shops charge over $8 per bowl of ramen. So I think that our customers would feel like they were saving money by eating at my restaurant. The recipe that I gave you is for instant noodles. I wanted to see if you would notice it, but I guess not. So if you're making the ramen based on the recipe that I gave you, it's not going to be as good as the real stuff. Why would you do that, Dad? Well, if you are serious about becoming a restaurant owner, you need to know your product. No customer is stupid enough to pay $7 for instant noodles. But by the time I'm done making the ramen, you can't tell that I've used instant noodles. People who come to eat ramen will know the difference. They're not gonna pay for something that they can make at home. That's why your place is unpopular. I don't think that's the reason. The ramen I make is good. You can't tell that I use instant noodles. Are you sure about that? I can tell, and I'm sure everyone else can too. But this isn't my fault. You tricked me by giving me the wrong recipe. You're responsible for the fact that my ramen shop isn't doing well. I didn't lie or give you the wrong recipe. Then what happened? None of this makes any sense. Why is Alan's shop so much more popular than mine? We're serving the same ramen. The same ramen? That's right. We're using the same recipe. I asked you to give me the recipe of the ramen that is made here. So how come I don't have customers lining up at my shop? Well, I think that's because Alan uses instant noodles as well, right?
Actually, we use handmade noodles.
See? So Dad, you didn't give me the right recipe. That's not what happened here. You're lying. Hank, you asked me for the recipe of the ramen that is made here. That's right, but clearly you gave me a different recipe. I never taught Alan how to make his ramen. That's a lie. His restaurant is doing so much better after you started helping him. I don't know how to make good ramen. That's Alan's job. The instant noodles that I make here are not served to the customers. Okay, I don't get it. What do you mean? After your mother died and before I moved in with you and Karen, I was all alone and cooked for myself. I had instant noodles every day, but I added some ingredients to change the flavor so that I wouldn't get sick of eating the same thing all of the time. What does that have to do with anything? How does it apply to my shop? Since Alan was kind enough to let me work with him, I was thinking of ways to help him out, and I came up with 2 ideas. Okay, I'm listening. The first was to make meals for him to eat after his work was done for the day. That makes sense. Alan makes the ramen for his customers by himself and he's really busy. So I thought that I'd make him something for him to eat during his breaks. So I've been making Alan something to eat every day. The only thing that I know how to make well are instant noodles, so I've been making that. What? I added some ingredients and customized the original recipe so that Alan wouldn't get sick of eating the same thing all the time. Why instant noodles though? Can't Alan just eat the leftover noodles from his own shop? What you're doing doesn't make any sense. But don't you think that what I'm doing makes sense if we consider the costs? Alan wants to keep the good ingredients for his customers. That's why I make his meals using affordable ingredients. Instant noodles are very cheap, so it ends up being cost effective. But why would you give me this recipe instead of the recipe that Alan uses at his restaurant? Well, you asked for the recipe that I have and make at the restaurant, which is why I gave you the one for instant noodles. I didn't think that you were going to serve it to your customers. Well, you should have been clear about the recipe that you were giving me. I didn't think that I needed to say anything. You're a professional in business management, and I assume that you know the difference. What's the other thing that you've been doing for Alan? I've been giving advice to Alan about how to make his business even better. What kind of advice? When I first started working with Alan, there were a lot of things that I thought could be improved. So I told him this and suggested ways to make small improvements. I see, but I don't understand how that would drastically increase the sales here. I didn't mention this to you before, but I used to work for a ramen shop. Really? You were small, and Helen wasn't even born yet, so you don't remember.
Do you know the ramen shop Travis Noodles by the train station?
I do. It's really famous.
I can't believe that you used to work there. I heard that you need to wait an hour or two to get a seat there.
I'm surprised to know that you used to work there.
You'll be shocked to know that I'm the one that started that shop. What? The current shop manager used to work for me back in the day. He was really good at his job, so I handed over the business to him.
Please tell me that you're making this all up. Why would you give up such a lucrative business?
I couldn't continue to work because your mother was sick and needed to be taken care of. I needed to get a new job with flexible hours so that I could take care of you as well. That's why I became an employee of a company.
I had no idea.
I'm telling you the truth. None of this is made up. If you don't believe me, you can go speak to the current manager of Travis Noodles.
Wow, I had no idea that you were the founder of Travis Noodles. That's amazing. I love their ramen. That's why you gave me such good advice.
I haven't worked in this business for a very long time, and I wasn't sure if I should say anything, but I'm glad that I was able to help out.
I'm so grateful for the great advice. I mean, look how well my shop is doing now.
I'm so happy for you.
Dad, how come you've been helping Alan out and not me?
You wanted the recipe that I was making here, right? That's exactly what I gave you. I don't see what the problem is.
You knew what I meant and you deliberately gave me a recipe for instant noodles.
I wasn't going to hand over Alan's recipe to you, and you need to prove yourself if you want people to help you out. When I gave you the recipe, you kicked me out of the house again. It was clear that you only wanted the recipe, not my advice.
I had no idea that you had experience in this field. Had I known, I would have asked you to stay and help me.
I see.
Will you move back in with Karen and I again?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Well, why do you want me back?
I need you to turn my restaurant into a lucrative business, that's why.
That's not possible.
Why not? Why would you help Alan instead of your real son?
I'm old, and I don't plan to getting on a sinking ship.
A sinking ship? Is that how you see me? Look, I apologize for disrespecting you. I had a shitty attitude and I'm gonna work on that, I promise. But think of this as a business opportunity. If you can make the perfect ramen and I manage the business perfectly, we'll make a great team.
That's where you're wrong, Hank. With some practice, I might be able to make the perfect ramen, but I see an issue with your business management skills.
What do you mean? I'm a great manager.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
How much are you spending on salaries right now?
Well, it's just Karen and I, so I wasn't paying too much attention to that. If you don't hire anyone else, we can keep the employment costs down.
But if it's just the two of you, you don't have the capacity to deal with a lot of customers.
We can handle it. We'll just work twice as hard.
You say that, but is that realistic? Are you really a good business manager? I feel like you haven't really thought this through. And where are you getting your ingredients and cooking equipment from?
Well,
There are a lot of things you need to consider if you want to be successful. I checked your shop and you're far from ready.
I can get it all done. I need the recipe though. I can't get started without a good ramen recipe, you know that? And I've hired a professional to help me out.
I thought that you were the professional here.
Well, I don't have the capacity to do everything by myself, and I'm new to the restaurant business.
I don't think it's smart of you to jump into something that you're not familiar with. And how much money are you paying this professional consultant of yours?
He's a friend, so he didn't charge me any money.
Does your friend have the skills to give you the advice that you need?
Yes, I'm confident that he does.
I think you need to reanalyze your entire business plan.
Why?
To begin with, you're serving instant noodles as the real thing. You need to do something about that. My prediction is that you're going to be out of business in a year's time if you don't make some drastic improvements.
Well, what should I do then?
Well, I learned a lot about business management when I started my own ramen shop. You always brag about your management skills. When I saw the way that you were heading things at your ramen shop, I knew that you weren't capable. You might be able to read numbers, but you don't know a thing when it comes to actually managing a business. I would have taught you a few things had you shown me a little more respect, but you kicked me out of the house again as soon as you got the recipe from me. That's the moments that I decided that I wouldn't help you anymore. Even if you are my son, you need to work on your personality first if you want to become a good business manager.
I quit my job at the bank to start my own shop. I used most of my savings already. You have no right to criticize me like this.
Well, you need to figure out a way to improve things. Otherwise, you and your business are going down.
I need you to make the ramen though. I'm not a good cook.
I said no, and that is my final answer. I'm not changing my mind about this.
But Dad, I really need your help with this. Please.
You're probably surprised that I'm letting my anger show right now. It's too late to try to fix things with me though. You should have come to me before you went and opened your shop. You made a big mess of things and you need to deal with this yourself.
I beg you, help me out now and I promise never to disrespect you again.
You've always had a big pride, and I tried not to get in the way of that, but let me just say, I'm very disappointed to see the kind of man you grew up to be. You made a bad business decision, but this is your opportunity to learn from it. I wish you the best of luck, son.
I can't do this without your help. Dad, please.
Hank, you really need to grow up.
Shut up, Helen. This is between Dad and I. This is your fault too. You should have never offered Dad a job here. He was supposed to work for me.
Hank, that's not fair.
Shut up, Alan. I'm really pissed off with you as well. You know what? I'm gonna call my former colleagues at the bank and warn them not to do business with an asshole like you.
Why would you do that? That's ludicrous.
They don't want to do business with the wrong people. I know the manager in charge of approving business loans. I'm gonna ask them to loan the money to me instead of you. And with that money, I'm gonna buy your ramen business. Hi, it's Hank. How are you? I'm calling to ask you for a favor. What? Why? Hold on. I'm calling with a new business opportunity. Hear me out. Hey, don't hang up on me.
It looks like your former colleagues aren't taking you seriously. I guess they don't have a very high opinion of you.
Did you say something to the bank?
Why would we do that?
Is this discussion finished now? Because I'd really like to get back to work now.
We still have to talk about things.
No, we don't. I'm busy. Hank and Karen ended up closing down their shop after 6 months. All they were left with was a large amount of debt. They fought a lot about money and ended up getting a divorce. Hank tried to look for a new job but couldn't get a good one, and ended up working for some bad guys.
Helen, take a look at this.
What is it?
There's an article about our restaurant in the newspaper.
Wow, that's so cool.
There's a lot of positive things written about our ramen and our services too.
Great job, Alan. I'm so happy for you.
I need to thank your father for this. He helped me out so much. I also got a call from the manager of Travis Noodles, and they want to open a new shop with me.
I'm so glad that all of your hard work has paid off, Alan.
It was so nice of your father to help me out with my business. I owe him so much.
You worked really hard too. Don't let my father take all the credit.
That's kind of you to say.
I have some good news to share with you as well.
What is it?
I'm pregnant.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing! I'm so happy! We need to share the good news with your father.
Yes, let's go tell him now.
My ramen business was doing really well, and I was about to become a father. Things couldn't be better. Trouble Busters!